Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ephemeral Orb. A very special episode, and someone rather, a new person has joined us to cut to the chase. And I would like to have them just very briefly, before we go into the game proper, introduce themselves. Zelris, could you please just talk a little bit about yourself and who you are playing before we go into the game proper?
I am Zelris, and I'm playing Lyri Roseguard, who is a Blood Elf and very cool. That's about it.
Yeah. No worries. And I would like to start today's episode with sort of a scene regarding this young blood elf who has joined the player group. Now, Lyri, for one reason or another, you know yourself best. You were captured by the forces of a Westfall nobleman and thrown into his dungeons. We do not know why you, as a blood elf, were in Westfall. That's entirely knowledge that you have, and frankly, the nobleman probably has no idea about you either. So, as you sit in your prison cell, taking stock of your surroundings, do you do or say anything? It's a fairly dark prison. You can sort of see it on screen. Ignore the barrels. You have a bedroll and a torch that sort of lights the area, and you are sort of locked behind a thick iron door that you probably would not be able to force open, even if you didn't have a force full of 0, to be frank.
I just look around and see what's up.
Yeah. You would find your prison cell. You have a bedroll, and since you've just been thrown in there, you haven't been offered food or water yet, so there's nothing there.
Yeah.
You have a bucket for your biological needs, like every other prisoner, I guess, because indoor plumbing does not exist yet, and that's about it in this prison cell. It's very empty.
Can I see any guards?
As I mentioned, you're behind a thick iron door, and you are not able to see beyond it. But
wall?
you can, yeah, with a wall. But you are able to try to hear beyond the door if you want to do that.
That's lame. I'll just sit in the corner.
Okay.
For that.
A couple of minutes will pass. Do you do anything in those couple of minutes?
I listen, see what's happening.
Yeah, you would hear, if you would pay a close attention, you would hear footsteps from outside the prison cell. There's a bit of activity going on, but you're not necessarily sure what, and you don't hear voices to clarify what's going on. Eventually, once I add them on screen, you will hear your prison door begin to unlock. What do you do?
Okay. I face the wall and look crazy.
And you do what? Sorry?
Crazy to start scrambling and spitting and making a mess.
Okay.
Let's try something similar.
Okay, you hear the door starting to get opened faster than before, and this gentleman that you will see on screen will hastily enter the prison cell, and he will yell out, "Right, not another one. Calm down, prisoner."
Okay, I mean he means business, but I want to kind of piss him off. Okay. I don't listen to him at all.
Okay. Then he will motion with his stump, and you will see one guardsman enter the chamber, and the one-armed man will yell at this guardsman, "Restrain her already. We need to start the interrogation."
Okay. I stop I stopped shaking and doing weird shit.
The guardsman was like took a few paces in your direction, and he sees that you've stopped, and he like looks at you like apprehensively, like, are you going to make trouble? He's like ready to jump you, but he won't if you won't.
No, I stop. I've had enough fun.
The one-armed man will like shake his head and like motion with his thumb towards the guard to like get out. And the guardsman will for the moment leave the cell. The guy with the armor on, the one-armed man still stays in the cell with you. And do you do anything? A couple of seconds will pass.
Yeah, immediately I start acting crazy again.
Okay. He marches towards you with like malice in his eyes. You will see that they are prepared to mistreat their prisoners if need be.
No. Okay.
Do you stop or do you continue?
I wait until the last second and I stop.
Okay. He looks at you with like fury in his eyes, and he says, "Don't try anything, lady. The last person who tried something like this didn't end up well." And he looks intimidating, but backs off a little bit.
I just pout at him and say, "Okay."
Okay. The other guardsman will return to the chamber. He's bearing like a small table. And behind him will enter. Let me put her on screen. This dwarf lady. The guardsman is, like I mentioned, bearing a table and a small chair. And the dwarf lady, once the guardsman sets it down, sits down on the table and the chair. The one-armed man sort of backs off from you. And he tells the other guardsman, "Stay in the cell this time. We might need you." And the other guardsman sort of gives you a nod. What do you do when, like, this dwarf woman sort of stares at you, like taking you in, measuring your value, etc.?
Stare her back, you know.
Makes sense. She sort of lays down some papers on her table and picks up a quill from her bag, and while she's still like staring at you, and she will say, "State your name."
I say my name is Captain Sunthorn.
Captain Sunthorn. Are
I
you
know.
with the Blood Knights? Are you with Silvermoon's military?
I say, I nod my head.
What are you doing here?
Classified information, and I stroke my chin.
The dwarf lady will sigh for a little bit and say, "What does Silvermoon know of our operations? Speak, elf, and we may let you live."
More than you know. And I say,
Can you please roll for me a flashy difficulty 2? Do you know how to roll?
no.
Okay. You type in the Roll20 chat /roll space 4DF plus whatever your stat is.
Oof.
Okay. Yeah, she shakes her head and will say she does not believe you, and she says, "Being difficult will not make this easy for you. Now, please answer my question. Does Silvermoon know about our operation, and what does it know?"
I say.
Also, it's for it's 4DF plus 1. So 4DF plus 1.
Okay.
Maybe you succeed.
Going again. That was a massive failure on my part. Okay, so I tell her that I'm lying. I say, I'm sorry, but I was lying the whole time.
Well, let's see what the result of the roll is, because it might change things. Slash roll.
Oh my god.
No, don't worry. It's we all had trouble with it in the beginning, to be honest. Okay, you succeed, actually. Okay, so going back in time for a little bit, she actually believes your lie that we know more than you know, or whatever you said. And you see like a look of concern go on her face, and she'll sort of lean into to you and say, "Am I right in assuming that your whatever I say to you will also reach the ears of the Regent Lord and possibly Garrosh Hellscream himself?"
I smugly shake my head and say yes. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Whether I'm dead or alive, he'll end up hearing about it.
She will then say, "Well, then your superiors must realize that our operation here is also entirely in their benefit. A victory for us would be a victory for Silvermoon, for Garrosh Hellscream. Don't you agree?"
I say yes. I do agree. So, why are you holding me in this dirty, disgusting cell?
Well, you snuck into our lands, and as our righteous duty as Alliance citizens at a time of war, she sort of exaggerates the what she says, as in like to let you know that we're not righteous citizens. She will then say, "We have a duty to apprehend any suspected Horde infiltrators. But if you are who you say you are, perhaps we might be able to strike a bit of a deal."
So I say, I go,
At this point, Lyri, you will actually see the door open once again. And someone else will enter the room. Two people that you do not know, but well, at least one of them, maybe the other player, and the other players will know. First of all, you will see this gnome lady, who looks just as creepy as that in character. And she is followed along by, let me put them on screen, where is it? Yeah, by this person. Now, as I mentioned to you, Zelris, this story is set during Mist of Pandaria, so you definitely would have no idea what that is. You, the player, would know it as a Night Fallen, but Lyri would not know what this is. At this sort of intrusion, the other people who are in the cell with you will like turn to the new people and will ask them. Well, the dwarf lady will ask them, "Ruler, what are you doing here? We're in the middle of..." And this gnome lady will like hold up a finger to like, "Shut up. You are entirely free to intervene or react at any point, by the way, while this is happening." And the gnome lady will say, "I don't want to spoil your fun, but, well, you are kind of in my way." And the gnome lady, with this elf in tow, like sidesteps everyone while the other NPCs are like giving them dirty glares, and presses on one of the blocks in the cell. And suddenly, you, Lyri, will see like a passageway open up. The masked guardsman will let out a whistle, because apparently even he did not know that. And the dwarf looks a little bit panicked and says, "Why did you lock the prisoner in this cell? What's wrong with you?" The two guardsmen will like stare at each other, like shrugging. They have no idea. And you will see this gnome, as well as the elf who was in tow, disappear into the corridor and start closing the wall behind them. Do you do or say anything?
I stay here just so the dwarf lady thinks I'm actually all chill and cool.
Okay, makes sense. Then they will go beyond the wall, and yeah, for the moment that's the last you will hear of them. And the dwarf lady will shake her head and say, "My apologies, Captain. So, I should also ask, how did you end up in Westfall? Do you have the means to return to your people after we let you go?"
I shake my head. I say yes, but I have to make a slight detour to a neutral area to get a ship back.
Well, it's a bit of a dangerous environment at the moment, to be perfectly honest. There's a bunch of Horde warships patrolling the area just south of Westfall. We don't necessarily know why. So it might be difficult to procure that. We might be able to arrange teleportation services for you. Would this be acceptable?
I shake my head. I say yes, that would be perfectly acceptable for me.
The dwarf lady will nod, and she will say, "Just so we're clear, may I ask, who am I dealing with? What's your rank within the Blood Knights or the Silver Moon military? You mentioned you are a captain, but what does that mean?"
I'm the captain of the Sunfire Battalion. And I command the ships to sail across the 7 seas. And we kill big fish monsters, and it's real fun.
You start to see an expression go on this dwarf's face like, wait, maybe I made a mistake.
But then I laugh real sarcastically, so I'm like playing it off as a funny joke.
Oh, nice. Then the dwarf will give out. The dwarf will also give out an uncomfortable laugh, like, someone said a joke and I'm supposed to laugh. Yes. And she will then say, "But back to the matter at hand." And suddenly, you will see that the door once again swings open as a massive ogre charges in. Buhd, you just charged into this prison cell. You decided to go ahead in front of your companions, and you see this impromptu interrogation scene. What do you do?
Where's Shalon?
The dwarf will yell, "What's this? See, it's him! Kill him already!" And the two guards will go to attack you, Skoll. Buhd, rather. Lyri, you are entirely free to intervene or do something or do nothing at all. Up to you.
I'll just sit back in my chair for the time being and see how this.
Oh, you don't have a chair. You're a prisoner.
Oh yeah, I'm on the floor. Yeah. I just sit on the floor then.
Okay. Also, just FYI, Skoll, you would not have seen this gnome lady lead Shalon into the cell, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, he's just asking where his buddy is.
Okay. Going in initiative order would be, I think, your turn first, Skoll, as these two guardsmen rush to attack you.
All right, Bud goes to smack his cannon upside the head of one of the guards.
Which one are you picking? The masked one without the arm or the armored one?
The armored one.
Okay, then please roll your forceful and I'll roll his to oppose you. Okay, he successfully defends. Next would be the... Lyri, in the turn order, because you have a quicker free, it would also be your turn simultaneously with Skulls. So if you want to intervene, do let me know. If not, we can move on. Up to you.
I'm not going to do anything.
Okay. Then first, the guard who you just attacked, Skoll, will attempt to attack to draw their axe and attack you. What do you do?
Bud tries to grab the wrist to lift it up.
Okay, roll a quick or careful, then I leave it up to you.
I'll go with my quick.
Okay. Okay, you successfully defend yourself. And then the masked guy will also attempt to attack you with his axe. What do you do to defend against him?
Bud tries to lift up the guard and use him as a meat shield.
Okay, please do so.
With a forceful?
Yeah. In this case, yeah. Okay, you succeed with style, so you get an advantage. What would you like this advantage to be called?
Cannon fodder.
Nice. Okay, you can find the advantage on screen right here if you need be. At the start of the turn, you will then be joined by one of your companions who came with you in your mission, namely this person, the Defias guy who joined you. And as he enters the cell, he sort of locks eyes with the other masked guy, the guy who was interrogating Lyri, and Hergen will then say, "Well, hello, brother. I didn't expect to meet you so soon. Skoll, I'm just going to let you know, it's safe to assume that this guy, for the moment, is out of combat because he is shocked. But you are entirely free to attack him if you want to do that. It's your turn at the moment."
Bud throws the guard that he's holding right at the masked man.
Okay, roll a forceful, please. Okay, you successfully go throw the guard. Would you like to treat this as an attack against the guard or against the masked guy?
Probably against the masked guy, because that guy's fully armored.
Okay, then you deal 1 damage to the masked guy. Okay, then Hergen will turn to you and say, "Bud, stop! The guy with the mask, he's my brother. Just kill the other one."
Oh, okay. Bud, see it. You both wearing masks. Very, very familiar.
Lyri, by the way, what do you do or do you do anything? The 2 guardsmen will land fairly close to you.
I kind of shuffle behind the guards.
Fair.
Mm.
Then for his turn, the guardsman in armor will rise up and charge at you, Bud. How do you defend yourself?
Bud pulls out his sword and points it at the guard to kind of parry whatever he's about to do.
Then roll a forceful or a quick, please.
Same roll, basically.
Yeah.
So I'll go for my good old forceful.
Okay, you successfully defend yourself. the masked guardsman will just stand up and not like attack. He'll like stare in shock at Hergen. And at the top of the round, another one of your friends will enter the scene. At this point, Buhd, who do you think will enter the scene next?
Kyrie?
Okay. Then I shall put her on screen, and as she enters the scene, she says, well, I don't see Shallan or what's his name, or Johnny here.
No Shallan, but very angry.
It's your turn, Buhd.
Buhd goes to charge and slam his sword into the chest of the armored guardsman.
Okay, roll quick or forceful again.
I shall go with a quick this time.
Okay. Okay, with a 5-point difference, you take him out of the combat. Do you want to kill him or knock him out? It's entirely up to you. You have defeated this guy.
Buhd is in a very sour mood, so this man is dying.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to describe how you kill him?
He getting cut in half. He getting Darth Mauled.
Okay. Nice. The dwarf screams in panic, but given that she's surrounded, she like lifts up her hands. Don't hurt me, don't hurt me. The other guardsman lowers his axe and will say to Hergen, well, brother, I never expected to see you here. Did you find better employment than this asshole? And Hergen will say, more or less, you're free to join us if you want, right? And he sort of turns to you, Buhd, like, right, you're not going to kill him this time.
But not gonna kill Mask Man or possible Dwarf Lady. Depends. Dwarf Lady, maybe.
Yeah, she's still with a very panicked look. And at this point, Lyri, this woman right here, will like turn to you. She has very piercing eyes. Like when she looks at you, you see like you're being like it's someone kind of high above you. I don't know how to describe it. Like someone with much more intelligence, with a lot more experience than you. It's hard to like say it in words, but it's basically like a very imposing person. And this woman will say to you, and who might you be?
I don't answer because I'm very, very upset because now I'm stuck in a situation where nothing good's going to happen. So I just shake my head and say nothing.
And this woman will say, well, unless my companions have any objections, I believe you are free to go.
What? I can go?
Well, we're sort of storming the place at the moment.
Has she seen Shallan?
Yes, have you seen a purple elf-looking man, perchance?
I sigh because I don't really want to do this, but I turn around and I show them the secret passageway in the wall.
Before you do that, Lyri, sorry, I would like to offer your character a compel, and you are entirely free to refuse this. You're chronic manipulator. I'm going to say that you're not going to give this information for free, and maybe you don't want to tell them at all. Do you accept this compel?
Oh, I absolutely do. You know what? I lie. I say that they came
Here's a
and
fate
left.
point. What do you tell them?
Tell them they came in this room and then left into another jail cell.
More jail cells.
Kari will say, well, then I suppose we just have to keep searching. She then turns back to you, Lyri, and says, well, you're free to leave or you're free to join us. It's entirely up to you. Since you were in a jail cell, I presume you weren't exactly friends of these people. And she points at the dwarf and the mask guy.
Well, I look at the dwarf lady and, I say that, because, if they're not going to be able to teleport me out or get me back home soon, I might as well just break out with these guys. So I joined Buhd.
The dwarf lady is too terrified to reply to you in any way. She, especially towards Buhd, considering what Buhd just did, she says to Buhd, "Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me."
Yeah, I look kind of annoyed because my way out has just been compromised. So I look at Buhd and I say, I guess I'm joining you.
Okie doke. Have you seen Shalon, dwarf lady?
Who? What? What? Who's Shalon?
Bud's friend. He purple. Sometimes skinny looking.
Roll for me a flashy or forceful, Buhd, and I will oppose with this dwarf lady's forceful to see if she spills the beans or not. Okay?
All right, literally the same roll as my forceful, so I'll go flashy. Did that roll twice?
No, you rolled it before as well. Okay.
Okay.
A tie would mean you, Buhd, would succeed, but at a cost. So something else negative would happen. Do you accept this, or would you like to spend fate points to improve your roll?
I will let a consequence happen with this one.
Okay. Then the dwarf lady, terrified, will stutter and say, there's secret passageway. One of our guests, collaborator of Lord Roswell, took your friend. He looked very weirder than last time when he showed up. And as she continues to stutter, but you will hear noise from the hallways. You will hear the voices of guards as they see your companions and raise the alarm.
Okay, where's secret passage?
Roll another forceful for me, and I will oppose with her forceful because now she thinks she has a way out. Okay, you beat her. The dwarf shakily points at the spot in the wall, and then turns to Lyri and says, "She knows. She saw it too. Yes, she knows."
Don't I mean her? She liar.
I sigh a big sigh of just annoyance, and I walk up the wall, and I try to open it.
Why you lie to Buhd?
I ignore Buhd.
But not like this new pretty lady.
At this point, Kyrie will turn to you, Buhd, and say, "Well, what do we do, Buhd? Do we go after Shalon, or do we stay here and try to rescue Benjamin and Bladebeard?"
Let's go save Shalon, because we know where he is.
Okay, Kyrie will give you a nod and will say, "Well, start finding this secret passageway while I guess we hold the guardsmen off." And Kyrie will rush out of the room at this point.
Good luck. Don't die.
Just hurry, please.
Okay.
Okay, let's start feeling these walls.
But starts punching the walls a lot.
Okay. Lyri, how much attention were you paying when the dwarf and the elf that now you know as Shalom?
Teeironor?
Sorry, push the talk again.
Oh my god.
I had to call you out.
Thank you. So Lyri, how much attention were you paying when the dwarf lady and the elf that now you know as Shalon showed up?
A fair bit, but not the most. Because I was still holding my bluff that I was all chill.
Okay. Then roll for me a careful and be difficulty 2 to see if you remember the exact stone that you need to press to open the secret passageway.
That's gonna be
Again, okay.
is that right?
Yeah,
Is that right?
That's perfect. Okay. You find the stone. Do you open the passageway?
I open the passageway because guards are coming and there's been a murder. I'm kind of screwed either way now.
Fair enough. Okay. You press the stone and Buhd, you would see as a section of the wall opens up, revealing a secret tunnel. The dwarf lady stares at you and says, "What happens to me now?"
You live, I guess. Don't do anything stupid. Yeah, and but don't cut you in half.
Can I join my countrymen?
Sure. Countrymen mean people, right? Yeah, probably.
Yes. Thank you. She gives you, Lyri, a quizzical look while she runs away, and she says, "The offer still stands, Captain," she says to you, Lyri, as she exits the prison cell.
I nod my head as she passes.
Oh man, you a captain too? But Buhd temporary has title of captain, so it still count.
Okay. And at this point, I think it will be a good point to go into our usual introductions. I mentioned to you guys in our preparation section that I'd like to have a scene with Lyri before we go into the usual stuff. So yes. Hello everybody. This is the Ephemeral Orb, a very special episode, and I would like to ask our players to introduce themselves. Starting with the new character of this episode, Zelris. Could you please talk just a little bit about yourself and about your character? I'll have your stats and everything on screen at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I'm Zelris. I make stuff, and that's about it. And my character is Lyri Roseguard, and she's a scheming, manipulative, evil mage who gets into a lot of trouble and is kind of not a really nice person.
Interesting. Thank you. And next I would like to ask the other members of the cast. I suppose we should go in the usual order. DoomGoblin, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. It's me, DoomGoblin. And as always, I'm playing Captain Bladebeard, a manipulative time, who is also kind of evil sometimes, and also gets into trouble.
Yeah, it was just last episode that he bit someone's neck off, I should say.
Yeah, someone who tortured him, and
True.
yeah, he went kind of crazy a bit, and still is.
Fair enough. Next, I would like to ask Sir Thompshire to introduce himself.
I'm Sir Thompshire, and I am playing Benjamin Aaran, a human sellsword that once again is going on a very dangerous mission with his favorite person in the world, Captain Bladebeard. And let's hope he comes out alive.
Indeed, indeed. And next would be Skoll. Could you please introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, I am Skoll Shorties, and I make all of the lovely machinimas and speculation videos and all that stuff. And I am playing as the lovable and non-evil ogre Buhd, who is a very nice ogre. Thankfully, because he lost his memory. If he had his memory, he probably would be evil, but he's not. So it's great.
I mean, you did just cut a guy in half, a guy who was just trying to do his job.
He had it coming.
Sure, sure.
He was in Buhd's way, and Buhd killed him. It's the Warcraft. It's Warcraft way. It's fine as long as they're in our way. Like. I mean, no one bats an eye when like the hero of Azeroth just like kills someone and just loots their corpse and of their belongings. So, if anything, they're more evil than Buhd is.
Sure, I guess. Sure. Good point. I think at this point it would be only fair to shift the scene to Benjamin and Captain Bladebeard at this point, who were approaching the Tower of Lord Roswell alone. I will say that the scene that just took place with Buhd and Lyri takes place a little bit into the future, like 10 to 20 minutes from this scene, at the very least. So, Benjamin Bladebeard, what do you do as, like, you are presumably walking to Lord Roswell's estate? Oh, I should also mention, Bladebeard, you do still have 2 of the artifacts that you stole with you, that I'll just put on screen.
So has 2 axes.
Yeah, and Buhd has this staff with him. Lyri, the ogre, also has a golden staff on his back if you want to like steal that or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so Benjamin and Bladebeard, what do you guys do? What do you guys say, etc.? You haven't reached the estate quite yet.
Bladebeard, you should maybe drop those axes somewhere. They mentioned we should come in unarmed.
Yeah, they did. Ah, damn it. I had a perfect joke in mind, I was if we got to fighting, I would be like, "Oi, yesterday you questioned me, but today I'm going to X you." But
I'll just be face palming as Bladebeard finishes his joke.
but I guess I can use it another time.
Just put them all in a bush. I don't know.
I just throw them on the road.
Well, I guess that works too.
Captain Bladebeard, wanted for piracy, murder, thievery, and littering.
Well, he's an evil man.
Yep. Do you do or say anything as you continue to approach the estate? By the way, Bladebeard, just for like FYI, I would say that the 2 artifacts that you stole, you probably have in like a small bag on your possession. Make sense?
Yeah. All right. I leave them with me.
Okay, noted.
All right, Benjamin. Let's get captured, and I wink.
Yeah, it's gonna be a ton of fun.
3rd time's the charm. Maybe this time I'll stay captured.
Well, at least Lord Roswell doesn't want your head.
Oh, you think he doesn't?
Well, after what you've done, it's possible, but I guess his whole objective was to take my head and the money he gave me.
Oh yeah, speaking of my head, I'm going to I'm going to take off my pirate hat and replace it with sea horns.
Sure. Why not, I guess.
You know, we've been invited to Lord's Manor. We need to look our best, right?
Is that what I think it is?
I don't know what you think it is. It's my new hat. It's pretty cool. It's big. It's you know,
Well, it does look somewhat familiar, I guess. And it is quite big.
Yeah, I on Bladebeard's head, I imagine it doesn't quite fit and maybe covers a little bit of his eyes.
Yeah, that's kind of how I saw it.
all right, I guess.
For,
he has
yeah.
he has like pretty bushy eyebrows. Maybe they are keeping the hat out of his eyes.
Seeing Bladebeard mention looking good, I guess I will dust off my outfit since the dragon kind of took flight next to us.
Fair enough.
Also, my beard is kind of messy, kind of red, more red than usual. But never mind.
I will just ignore his comment.
Bladebeard, I just a little bit of above board knowledge. Because you've been captured by Lord Roswell twice already, and this has happened both times, and you are probably certain that it will happen on the third time as well. Lord Roswell's men are probably going to search both of you.
I know that, and I'm prepared for that.
Okay, do you want to like create an advantage right now to better help you prepare?
Yeah, sure.
Then roll a sneaky. It would be difficulty 2. It's not a difficult thing for you. Would you also let Benjamin know about this?
No, whatever I say, they can hear, right?
True.
Sneaky, you said.
Yep, sneaky, yeah. Okay, you create the advantage. What would you like it to be called?
I don't know. Can it be prepared to backstab again?
The advantage is mainly related to the fact that you have hidden both your weapons and presumably the artifacts well, and they will be difficult to find.
I left the access, so just.
I mean
artifacts
I mean the hidden weapons like the knives in your beard.
Ah, yeah. All right. I don't know. Any ideas, guys? Like hidden.
I'm thinking of that song Secret Agent Man, but I guess it works.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I also hide some of my daggers in my sleeve, I guess.
That makes sense to me. Okay. As you guys continue to approach the estate, do you do or say anything before before you approach?
I don't really have anything to say, I think.
Okay, duly noted. Then you will eventually see. Well, you will eventually be greeted by, or I should say rather. Let me put them on screen. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Yeah, a group of these gentlemen will like walk up towards you, and they will be accompanied by, let me put it on screen, one of these things. That is a giant golem. You, Benjamin, would probably know what it is. I don't know about Bladebeard.
Yeah, let's say he doesn't. I guess he knows about machines, but not about this type.
Do you continue to approach? The people approaching you don't seem hostile. They are prepared, but not hostile. So do you continue your approach?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Then as you continue, you will also see, as soon as I put it on screen, this lady come up behind you, sort of like cutting off your escape route, if that makes sense. Which is previously not before seen render of Thompshires.
Alright. Good evening.
Lord Razo has been expecting you, as I'm sure you already know. Standard procedure, you already know the stuff, dwarf. We need to search you.
Oh, no need. We got the message. We came unarmed. All our weapons and magical items are already on the island.
They ignore you and proceed to walk forward to start patting you down.
Sure.
And
Can I
also
roll
Benjamin.
Alright.
Well, as before, Bladebeard, we're going to roll sneaky for each one of your hidden items. So it's, we're wearing Seahorn's hat openly, so no longer that, but it's your hidden weapons and your 2 artifacts, okay?
Alright.
So I'm going to roll careful twice, and you roll your sneaky twice.
Alright.
First one is weapons, second one is artifacts.
Alright. So weapons 2, I won.
Correct?
And artifact 5.
You win with style. If you want, I can give you another charge on Secret Agent Man for that.
Yeah. That's fine.
Benjamin, do you have any hidden things that you would like to keep hidden from these people?
Not really. I left all my stuff with Meridian.
Okay, you are currently unarmed, correct? Yes, you are unarmed?
Yeah. I kind of just raise my hands to be searched.
Okay. Then as they pat you down, they don't find anything. And the lead guardsman sort of grunts at you and will say, Lord Razo's been expecting you. Come along.
I just sigh and follow along.
Okay. And again, since Buhd's break-in will be a little bit in the future, we will have time for another scene before Buhd breaks in. So at this point, you Benjamin and Bladebeard, you two will be led into Lord Razo's tower. Do you do or say anything or stop, etc., while you are being led up the stairs into the top chamber?
Not really. I guess I just look around a bit while we're getting there.
Okay. You will see as you are being led that whatchamacallit, everyone seems to be at high alert. All the guardsmen are, that is, and a lot of them are staring at you with disdain, presumably because you killed a bunch of them earlier. Well, you, Buhd, etc. And they don't like you very much, but they will obey their orders, if that makes sense. And the Harvest Golem will not enter the tower, just FYI. And as you enter, at the top floor, you will see the man himself, Lord Razo, accompanied by several more of the guards, as well as one of these things. Feel free to... I don't know if Benjamin has ever seen one of those. I know you've been in Northrend, but on that front...
I think you have seen an Iron Rifle.
You have or you haven't? Yeah, I'm sorry.
I would say he hasn't.
Okay.
But I guess I just stare at it for a good moment.
Okay. As you are being led in, Lord Roswell sees that you are staring at the iron Vriko. He says to you, "Impressive, isn't it? Part of my, well, what could have been our plan, Benjamin Aaran, to survive the Horde's eventual destruction of Stormwind."
Well, you seem pretty certain of it.
Well, the signs are obvious. The Horde... You haven't lived through the horrors of the First War, Benjamin Aaran. I know better than I what the Horde is capable of, and I can tell from right now that Stormwind will burn. And I wanted to take precautions.
You do have some interesting associates for that.
He sort of scoffs and says, "None quite as interesting as you. I'm genuinely curious, why did you turn traitor?"
Well, for once, I witnessed the destructive power of the artifact you wanted, and that's not really something I would give away to someone I barely know anything about.
He sort of scoffs and says, "Pff." My microphone just peaked, sorry. He will say, "All artifacts are dangerous in one way or another. The dwarf over here would know. You stole several of my artifacts. I presume you've already caused havoc somewhere with them."
No, I haven't used them.
We heard
I
quite a
just-
bit of lightning. I presume the staff?
No. I have friends that can summon lightning. Magical people.
Lord Waz will wave his hand and say, "Well, it doesn't matter at this point." Now, Tell me-
Where did you get that staff, by the way?
and why should I tell you?
I don't know.
This is
Uh,
this is your opportunity as a player to actually get him to tell you, but you have to convince him to tell you.
Yeah, well, it's probably an interesting story.
Well, my question first. How do today's events end other than your heads lopped off and thrown on a spike outside the tower?
Well, you let me and my friend go, and
And why would I
also
do that?
Shallan and Johnny.
Oh yeah, I also forgot to put him on screen. Sorry about that. But Johnny would be in this room. You will see him sort of cowering. He is being held by one of the guards who is holding a sword to his throat. Sorry, I forgot to put him on screen. If that influences anything you say or do, please let me know.
Oh, hey Johnny, how you doing? Are you alright?
I've been better, Mr. Bladebeard.
Quickly, just in case, show me your fingers.
I'm not sure I can quite move at the moment. He says as the blade at his throat sort of leans in closer, as in you're not allowed to do anything.
Don't worry, we'll get out of this.
So, says Lord Roswell, again, what do you have to offer in exchange for your miserable lives?
Your miserable life.
I nudged Bladebeard with my leg.
No. I mean, seriously, I assume you wanna live, right?
Look at the situation you're in, dwarf. Is this some kind of jest? He asks Benjamin.
Well,
Face palming as Bladebeard to speak again.
see, Lord Roswell, buddy, this is your problem. You always assume you're one step ahead of everyone, but this time we are one step ahead of you.
Really? How so?
Well, and I'm going to use my stunt, the Deceiver,
Okay.
before saying this. Well, you see, while I was masterfully escaping your tower, I took a little detour, right? I mean, you noticed that some of your items are gone, but your treasure isn't the only place I went. I also visited your dining room. You somehow failed to notice me. I assume you're not quite as perceptive on your right side, right?
You see his brow furrow at you like you've hit a nerve, but continue.
And, I could have ended you right there and then, but I thought quick death is kind of too good for you. So, have you ever heard about Tears of Shadra? Quite a rare drink. You should be honored. By the way, that drink doesn't exist. But you can assume that Shadra,
just above board, you're trying to with the stunt, you're telling him that I've poisoned your drink, basically.
Yeah. I'm implying that.
Okay. He looks up at you in surprise. Because of your stunt, you automatically convince him. Because of your stunt, I think everyone is convinced of this, including Benjamin. Benjamin, do you have a reaction?
Yeah, my facepalm transitioned into a look of shock.
And at this point, Lord Razo will sigh heavily and fall back into his chair and say, "So, how does this end then?"
You let us go and I'll give you the antidote.
Do you
That's the
have
word,
the
right?
antidote?
Yeah, of course.
Lord Razo will turn to his guardsmen, who say, "We searched him, Lord. He has nothing else on him."
I'm going to pull out the bottle of water, I assume, that I took from
The water skin, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to shake it in front of him. You want this, or I can drink it.
Bladebeard, roll for me a careful difficulty 2.
All right. Careful is +2.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
You will notice that this masked woman over here.
I did it.
Sorry, you will notice that the masked woman I pinged behind you, the dark-skinned one, is slowly approaching you as if to try to steal the water skin.
I'm going to kind of fake drop it, but then catch it.
The Lord Roswell looks horrified, and the masked woman gets the message. I should say.
I'll be horrified as well.
Lord Roswell will say, "Captain Bladebeard, the way I see it, if I die, you die as well. These people will be left without an employer thanks to you." He says,
I can employ them. Any of you wanna be pirates?
They all...
I promise you pay is much better.
They look at each other, these men who have never seen anything outside of Westfall, and some look wistful, some look horrified at the idea. The Lord Raz will say, these are not the only tools I have at my disposal as well. and you will see the Iron Vrykul take a few steps towards you. As in like a show of force, not in like actually approaching you.
Yeah. Quite a nice toy.
So, here's the deal. You give me the antidote, and in return, I will guarantee you your lives. But we should still negotiate in regards to your freedom.
What do you have in mind?
Well, he sort of looks at you, Benjamin, and he will say, first off, I want what you stole from me back, but second off, there is the job that I initially hired Benjamin for.
Well, what I did steal from you, I gave it to Sima, so he should be the one who has it.
And where is Sima?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
Damn Pandaren. Still, this artifact that you people dealt with in Stranglethorn is still of great interest to me.
Well, I'm sure it's long gone by now.
You'll see his brows furrow in irritation, and he will say, then what do you have to bargain with?
I will say that the antidote seems like a pretty good bargain.
And as I said, that will guarantee your lives, but not your freedom.
So if you die, we still get captured.
If I
don't
die,
think that
these
will work.
people will kill me. Will kill you, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they will. What's the point of protecting a dead guy?
Vengeance, and that's it. At the very least, he sort of points at the Iron Vrykul. These things will kill you. I do have more of them, you know.
Well, you really are running a weird freak show here.
And at this point, you guys will hear sounds coming from behind you, and another guardsman will enter the chambers and say, "My lord, there's a breach. Some strangers teleported into the prisons. There's a human Kirin mage. There's a defias person." And as he will continue to rattle off your NPCs, he will not mention Buhd because Buhd was in the prison cell. What do you guys do when you hear this?
I guess that answers where Sima is. If he mentions the Pandaren, right?
He does. And at this point, Lord Roswell will say, "Seize them." He referring to you, Benjamin, and Bladebeard.
I'll look at Bladebeard to see if he has any sort of plan.
Not really. I look at him.
You are still holding the quote-unquote antidote in your hands.
I guess let's try to drop it again and catch it.
The guards are not deterred because it's a leather water skin, not a glass thing, so it will not break.
Oh yeah. Well, it's been an honor. Have fun dying, you old fart. And I start running.
Okay. Benjamin, do you do anything?
How
Oh
surrounded
shit! Wait,
are
wait,
we?
wait! I forgot about Johnny. Oh, we
Yeah,
can't run. Yeah,
I
he has a dagger at his throat.
yeah, I was about to say that if like Benjamin didn't run with you, Bladebeard, Benjamin would have seen Johnny's throat cut open at that
And-
point.
No,
As well,
I forgot about Johnny. Sorry.
Okay.
I take back what I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm, well, you know, we can help you with. No. I don't say that. You will have no idea.
Johnny,
Ideas,
Johnny
Benjamin?
will at this point. Johnny will yell at you, Mr. Bladebeard. Please, just give him the antidote. He's already promised our lives. We can worry about the freedom later. Please, I don't want to die here.
I look at Benjamin. I mean, I guess that sounds alright. I give you
Yeah.
the antidote, and you can capture us once again.
Once again.
Well, I guess it is a first for me.
Not if you count Seema kidnapping you, I guess.
Well, that never happened. I don't remember that.
Okay. Yeah. At this point, I would propose that we move to the scene to Buhd and Lyri. What do you guys say?
Yeah.
Okay. While I adjust everything on screen, what would you basically at this point, Lyri, you are still going with Buhd and the rest of the group, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then as you are like in the prison cell, opening the door and like ushering the other NPCs in, Kyrie will offer to stay behind since she can teleport. It's completely she can escape to stay behind to allow you time for the hidden entrance to close while she holds them off, and then she will teleport away to safety. What do you say, Buhd and Lyri?
That sounds fine to me.
Yes, that's fine to me.
Okay.
I don't reject it, you know.
Okay. Then while I prepare the stuff on screen, you guys will find yourselves. I don't have a. Well, actually, I do, but you guys will find yourselves alongside the other NPCs. Let me just put them on screen. Again, we have quite a horde of them at this point, no pun intended. Yeah. Lyri, you will see alongside your jailer and apparently his brother that came with the ogre, you will see this person who looks like an archmage of the current tour. I don't know if you would know about them or not. You will also see a Pandaren. Again, I don't know if you know about that because Pandaria is a newly discovered continent. And a Forsaken. A very odd crew at this point. Go ahead.
No, carry on.
Yeah. As you guys are in the tunnels, the Archmage of the current tour will turn to you and say, "And who might you be?"
I just replied, just a prisoner. Nothing more, nothing less.
She a captain.
Oh, great, another one. Are you a thieving scoundrel too? What kind of captain?
One thing she is she a lying captain.
I sigh and I don't bother replying. I've had enough.
She will. The Archmage will then will then ask you again. Are you working with the Horde?
I shake my head and I say no.
Your former jailer will then say, That's not what she told us during interrogation, but who am I to know?
Okay. I get really peeved off. I'm visibly not very happy.
Like Bud said, big liar.
The Archmage also looks at you with a frown and says, "Just to be clear, Blood Elf, I don't usually work with the Horde. Once we're out of this, we're done."
Okay. I don't know you. I don't care about you. You can go away. I don't care.
She gives you a harumph. And the Pandaren will say, "Can we just get moving already? Enough with this circus."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's go find Shalon.
Do any of you have a torch?
No.
The Archmage will sigh and light a fireball in her hand and use that as a torch. And she will
She
say,
can use fire magic, surprising.
"Sorry?"
She can use fire magic, how surprising.
And she will say, "Well, come on, I can't keep this up for very long." Just as an FYI, Lyri, the undead who is also with the crew, she's clearly a Forsaken, does not react to you at all. She seems to barely notice your presence.
Good. Everyone else is giving me too much hassle.
Okay. And as you guys progress through the tunnel, an artificial tunnel, eventually after 5 to 10 minutes of walking, let's say, you will enter a cavern that's partly natural, partly the remnants of an old mine shaft. And you are standing at a sort of crossroads. To your right, you will sort of feel the outside air, and you would presume, okay, that's the exit. While to the left, it would probably mean deeper into the cavern rather.
Mm-hmm. I stand around and wait to see what people are going to do.
The Archmage, who is sort of leading, because she has the fire, turns back to everyone and asks, "Well, where should we go?" And the masked guy who is with you, not your jailer, but his brother, will say, "I'm guessing Shalon is deeper into the caverns, if I had to guess."
Then we go there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will say above board to everyone. The way I sort of originally envisioned this session to go was that you guys would fight Lord Roswell and then would go in the following session into the caverns, not the sort of other way around. And I will say the caverns is a much more difficult fight than Lord Roswell.
Nice.
Yay!
I'm up, alright?
Yeah, it's only just 2 players out of the entire party of 4.
Good luck.
Yeah, those all are NPC friends.
Kyrie's missing.
Carrie can be our Deus Ex Machina, it's fine.
Who knows at this point? Okay.
Khadgar didn't set his clock up properly and shows up early.
Zelris, Khadgar is supposed to show up tomorrow if you can last until tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I just want to leave. All these scary people are surrounding me.
Yeah, you're sort of along for the ride on a rescue mission you didn't have to be part of. Okay, as you guys are walking through the cavern, are you being cautious, or are you going quickly, or how are you going?
I'm going cautious behind the rest of the group because I don't really know these people, and it's not really where I want to be, but
Okay.
we vibe.
But Bud is going more quickly.
Okay. Then you hear the voice of a gnome woman resounding through the cavern, who say, "Hello, intruders. How did you reach this cavern? Did Lord Roswell die? Poor thing. Well, he was just a tool for the masters, after all. I suppose it's no surprise if he's dead." The voice sort of echoes around you in all sorts of directions. The rest of the NPCs will sort of stop in their tracks.
Okay, so I immediately try and hunker down somewhere nice and not secluded, but hidden, because I don't want any part of this business.
Makes sense.
Go away, stupid voice.
The gnome voice will chuckle and say, "Why, my dear, at the moment you are in my house, and, well, the master's house. And I do have a guest as well with me. Well, more than one, really." She chuckles for a little bit, and she will say, "I must say, you've probably made quite the mistake coming in here. But please, if you dare, to proceed."
Your house looks stupid.
You will hear a chuckle in the air.
But say we go and beat up stupid voice.
I hold back again because I don't want to be on this mission, but
Yeah, this you probably have never heard of like a voice coming from all directions, even like inside of a cavern or something. Lyri.
I'm very, very off-put right now.
Your very first session, and it's already one of the final bosses of the campaign. How lovely. Yeah. I'll just put the gnome on screen just so I can have her ready. Yeah. Do you guys continue to proceed?
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't proceed.
Bud?
Yeah, obviously Bud would go forward.
Okay. As you continue to approach the gnome's presumably voice, the NPCs all look like scared in your direction, and your former jailer Lyri will say, "I've never been here. Lord Roswell's always forbidden us from being in here. Maybe we shouldn't be here."
We go in places we're not supposed to go all the time. We do good.
Yeah. And as you enter like a clearing in a cavern, you will probably the first thing that sort of catches your eye will be where is it? Yeah, the Shallan in this form of his, you see him sort of suspended in the air with purple looking magic surrounding him. You will also see two of these things sort of guarding the gnome that you will see. And in the sort of back of the chamber, I actually have to see if it will fit on the screen. You will see this thing.
Oh no.
Oh, that looks like fun.
Yeah.
It is currently lying still, presumably inactive. And at this point, while you guys tell me what to do, I'm going to like write the initiative order on screen just so we can have it ready just in case this turns ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, this is gonna turn very ugly.
Oh, of course it's gonna turn ugly.
It's gonna turn horrible.
Don't mind me, I'm just typing because there's a lot to type.
Mm-hmm.
Here I thought Bladebeard and I were the most likely to die.
Oh, actually,
You're fine.
there's another NPC that I forgot to put on screen. I am very sorry. Yeah, you will also see. Where is he? Where is he? One of your old friends, Buhd, quote unquote. This gentleman.
Fuck.
Oh, great. So not another friendly NPC, another mean one.
It's not a shattered hand orc, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's not a shattered hand or.
Yeah.
Doesn't even. He has both hands. How could you make that mistake?
He's gray. Gray and red eyes.
Yeah, but he has both hands.
But he's short. He's tiny.
But he has no
Short.
beard, so he can't be a dwarf.
His beard is too powerful for us to see.
Skoll, we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
Quite likely.
We-
Quite likely.
we need Khadgar to show up.
I'm gonna have to do something now.
Again, there's a lot of NPCs. I'm still typing. I'm sorry about this.
Oh jeez.
Or seduction skills within your.
What's,
I don't
what's
speak
that
sneeze.
What's that about seduction skills?
Asking if anyone have any seduction skills.
I mean,
I don't see
Yes.
it.
if Bud was still a Draenei, maybe.
Then you're all dead, I'm sorry.
Well,
Who knows at this point?
it was fun while it lasted with Bud. He's
Okay, I think I got the NPC order of operations ready.
Mm-hmm.
FYI, Chronic is the Infinite Dragon, aka the Shattered Hand Orc.
Oh, spoiler.
Oh,
We already know his name.
yeah, he told you his
Your-
name before.
Yeah. I have it written in my note.
Yeah. Sorry, my thing bugged out. Okay, yeah, he already told you his name when you first met him. Okay. Before like the actual combat starts, which would be the Infinite Dragon first, yeah, the gnome will sort of address you as you guys walk in. Welcome, dear friends, to my personal chambers and, well, the chambers of the Master. You're quite welcome here.
Okay, I try and hide somewhere and avoid the conflict if possible. Just hunker down somewhere safe.
I will allow you to roll a sneaky right now, and to basically create an advantage that you can use during combat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So roll your sneaky, it will be difficulty 2. It's not difficult. And
Like
roll-
that?
Yeah. Well, sneaky is +4 for you.
Oh, yeah, of course. Do you want me to roll it again?
Yeah. If you get a better roll, you get a better advantage. Also, feel free to use your stunt because I think it applies in this situation.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was doing it.
Okay. Well, it's 4 + 2, so yeah, you get double advantage. What do you have? Something that you would like this advantage to be called? To signify the fact that you are well hidden and
Yeah,
prepared.
hidden. I don't know, just call it.
Yeah, I'll just say, if nothing else, I'll just say hidden blood oath or something like that, so we know what it's
Mhm.
about.
Yeah. That's fine with me.
Okay. Yeah, and as I typed in Efl instead of elf. Sorry. Okay, and as you do that, the dwarf will turn to you, Buhd, and say, "Ogre, why are you here?"
Here to save Shalon.
The gnome will say, "Shalon is this lovely elf, I presume. Oh, he's been a most gracious donor, I can assure you. He has quite a bit of the master's touch upon him. Something that is very useful for us all."
We're gonna make your head useful on a pike.
So shall it come to conflict then? I must say that would be quite unfortunate. For you, that is.
You unfortunate.
Okay. At this point, I presume combat will start, unless you guys have any objections.
Fine with me.
Yeah, I don't have any objections.
I have an objection across the tower.
Okay. I think after like a round or two, we're going to switch back to Benjamin and Bladebeard because the infiltrators have suddenly disappeared. But yeah. Okay. First will be Chronic, the Infinite Drake, who will, I think, try to cast a shadow spell at you, Buhd. How would you defend yourself against that?
Buhd uses his cannon as a shield, trying to like hit it off against the bolt.
Well, it's not a bolt per se. You basically see that he is spellcasting and looking very intently at you. And as he is spellcasting, you feel like a pressure in your mind. Again, shadow spells typically attack your mind. Exactly. How would you defend against that?
I guess Buhd would try to run around a lot to kind of like get him to lose focus. I don't know. That's spells like that are harder to exactly physically dodge because Bud's not magical.
Okay. Roll, I guess a careful or quick. Yeah, I would say quick. If you are quick enough, it would mean dodging the spell's effect. And you have to take 5 damage already.
God.
I
Oh,
said
this is horrible.
I mentioned that this is probably one of the final bosses of the campaign.
Yeesh. You guys want to show up?
How do you take 5 damage?
We're a bit surrounded. Yeah.
How many stress boxes would that tick?
Well, you can't take like multiple stresses at once, so it would be your level 3 stress and a level 2 consequence, I guess, if you want to do that.
I feel like that's the only way you could go about that. But yeah.
Okay. Then I will type that in. Your consequence will be I already have a head hurt consequence for you for similar reasons. This consequence will be Mind Spike, just for simplicity's sake.
Alright.
Okay. Next, it's Sima the Pandaran's turn, who will charge in at the dwarf, but will be intercepted by one of the Iron Vrykul, so he will attack the Iron Vrykul instead. And he deals heavy damage to the Iron Vrykul, but the Iron Vrykul is still standing. Next, it's you guys, Buhd and Lyri's turns. Let me know before if you are doing something, Buhd, as in when you decide to take your turn, because something will happen. But nothing will happen for Lyri. Lyri, you are free to take your turn if you want. And well, you guys decide the order.
Lyri can go first if she wants to.
Okay, so what does the cavern look like? I look around the
It's a
cavern.
vast opening. You are sort of like hidden behind a rock at the entrance of the opening.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The big giant that is currently inactive is in the back. The elf that Buhd wants to rescue is floating in the center. The gnome is close to the elf. She's standing next to the dwarf, and the two iron Vrykul are in front.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack one of them. I'm going to toss a little fireball at the ceiling and hopefully knock some debris down on them.
Ooh, okay. That's a very indirect attack, so it'll be a clever roll. But because you're rolling from cover, I will also allow you to roll sneaky. I leave it up to you. In the meantime, let me look at.
Mm-hmm. And since I have a stunt for doing stuff from stealth, that gives me a. Okay, I'll do sneaky, then +2. That means I'm gonna roll a +6.
Yeah. Who are you attacking?
Whoever's the closest, I think. That's fair.
So one of the iron Vrykul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then roll that, and I'll roll the iron Vrykul's thing to defend. Again, it's a slash.
Is that the right command?
Yes, that is correct. Okay, and you deal 3 damage to the iron Vrykul. Like the Pandaren, you like knock off some piece of the ceiling and it falls on him. It sort of stuns him for a little bit, and you can see like bits of circuitry exposed from the rocks, but he stands back up ready to fight. He's wounded, but you have not taken him out yet.
Mm-hmm.
But on your turn, just before you do anything, you will hear a voice in your mind because you currently are holding a certain golden staff. You will recognize the voice of a familiar troll woman that you and Bladebeard are familiar with, Zulgalga, the one who stole your ship from you. And you hear the whisper in your mind, "Be that you, Buhd? Are you holding my grandfather's staff now?"
Oh, hey, Trader Zogaga.
I sense quite a bit of interesting magic around you. Tell me, would you like old Zulgalga's help?
Well, Captain usually say no, but there's something bigger than Buhd here, and yeah, Buhd think that help might be good.
Your wish be my command, dear Buhd, and we can discuss payment after all of this is over. At this point, Buhd, you will see the staff start to glow with magic. Do you do anything to like stop this from happening?
No.
Okay, then you will see suddenly out of nowhere 2 of these things show up in front of you and rush ahead to attack your enemies. In the turn order, they will go after Vera, by the way.
Oh, spooky snakes.
Yeah, and it is still your turn.
Buhd will turn his cannon out and aim it at the little gnome with the little crown on her head and fire.
Okay, I'm willing to allow you to do that, but I will say that she's a small target. Are you still willing to do that?
I mean, either he'd be shooting either the gnome or the dwarf, so they're both pretty small.
Or the giant in the very back, I guess, or one of the iron Vrykul. But I should also say, you may want to like, because of your heavy weapons expert aspect, you will know this. It's a difficult shot at this distance because it's a small target. You might want to like move in closer, Or, yeah, I will still allow you to take the shot right now if you want, but it will be a bit more difficult, if that makes sense.
Alright, I mean, Buhd would probably charge forward. That's just how Buhd typically goes. He's a risky man.
Okay, makes sense to me. You charge forward, and as you charge, you unload your cannon, presumably?
Yes.
At the gnome, correct?
Yes.
Okay, then roll a forceful attack, please. And in addition to your forceful, give yourself probably a +8 bonus. Okay?
3
So-
plus 8.
Yeah.
That's an 11.
In the meantime, I will roll her quick, probably, to try to dodge out of the way. She's not very quick and has to take 6 damage. Okay. Yeah, she'll take her level 2 stress and her level 4 consequence. What would you like the level 4 consequence to be called?
Cannon bombed.
Okay, noted. Okay, I've typed that on screen. Let me just make it red, etc., etc. Okay. That was your turn. Okay, next on Hergen's turn, he will run in. Well, at first he'll be terrified of the snakes and will instead run in to attack the Iron Vrykul that the Pandaren wounded. And the tie means Hergen gets an advantage. Hergen is the brother of your jailer, Zelris, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The advantage would be Iron Duel, I guess. Okay, next the gnome. Oh boy. The gnome would probably attack Buhd, but Skoll is currently away. So instead she, for simplicity's sake... Go ahead.
Teeironor, if you're talking.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. I was saying that the gnome would probably attack Buhd, but because Skoll is away, she'll do something else instead.
Hex.
Well, I wouldn't say hacks because that something else is probably unfavorable to you. You will see that she will start to drain energy from the floating Shallan. Yeah, and she will roll a clever for that, probably. Let me just find her thing to create an advantage, basically.
Is he suspended or is he just floating?
He will be suspended, floating. He's like 2 meters above the ground, 6 feet above the ground. The gnome does create the advantage, by the way. He's basically encased in sort of like a purple looking sphere, if that makes sense. And she's draining stuff from him.
So we can't just like knock him down with rocks, can we?
I mean, you can't, but you risk killing him. A bit while I type in her advantage. Okay, and Shallan looks visibly weaker as she does that. Yeah. Next would be the Iron Vrykul's turn. One of them will attack the Pandaren. and tie meaning they get an advantage. Okay. The other one, the one that you attacked, Lyri, will look around to see what attacked him, and he's going to make a check to see if he finds you. How would you defend against that check? With sneaky, I presume, but
Yeah, we're sneaky.
but in terms of the narrative.
Yeah, I get you. Ooh. I'd probably just lay still, like real low.
Makes sense, makes sense. Roll your sneaky then, please, to see if you remain undetected. And you are able to use your stunt for this, by the way.
Jeez, it's like +6. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, you do remain hidden. Yeah, I will give, because you succeeded with style, I will give you another boost on your hidden blood oath. So you are able to use that whenever you like. Welcome back, Skoll. What you missed was that the gnome drained some power from Shallan, and Shallan looks visibly weaker after she did that. And the gnome, as she does that, by the way, will say to you, your friend has quite a bit of the master's touch on him. A large reservoir of power, even bigger than mine, to be honest. And she giggles at that.
Leave him alone or you die.
She cackles at you. Yeah, that was the other Iron Rifle's turn. Well done, Zelris. Lyri, he does not find you. Okay. Your former jailer will rush in to attack that Iron Rifle. And tie meaning, yeah, another advantage. Okay. The Archmage, Meridia, will turn to you. Well, but no, actually she won't, because you ran ahead, Buhd. So instead she's going to throw a frostbolt at the gnome.
By the way, shouldn't Meridia's level 4 consequence be gone?
Definitely not.
Isn't it the end of the session?
No, that's only level 2s.
Oh, okay. I thought level 2 was after the fight.
Well, level 2 is after the fight, provided you have a chance to rest. Level 4 is at the end of the following session, basically. But again, provided she has a chance to rest. But this is the following session, and she does not have a chance to rest because it's the middle of the fight. So, yeah. Okay, what happened? Yeah, the gnome succeeded in defending against the Archmage. So, yeah, the gnome gets an advantage. Okay, on Vera's turn, she will turn to you, Lyri, and will say, nice shot out there. Can you do more?
I'll give a silent nod.
Very well. You need me protecting you, or should I jump in?
I'll nod again to not give away my position.
She will sigh, and then Vera will attack the Iron Vrykul that's looking for you. Let me look up what's Vera's thing again. Okay. And Vera deals another point of damage. The Vrykul that you attacked, Lyri, is heavily wounded at this point. And like one more blow will knock him down. Okay. Next is the two snakes' turn, who will circumvent the Iron Vrykul and try to attack the dwarf, aka the Infinite Dragon. And I will roll his thing in a bit. Okay, the Infinite Dragon manages to succeed against both of those, and in fact gets one advantage. While I type in this advantage, Would you guys like to have a scene with Benjamin, Bladebeard, etc.?
Before we go to our scene or continue this fight, I have a lore question.
Please go ahead.
Can dragons sense each other? Like, could maybe Hergen sense that the blue dragon is here?
Yes and no. They don't have like a dragon radar around them or something like that. But if like one dragon sees another dragon disguised as a mortal, yeah, they would know it's a dragon. But they wouldn't, they can't like sense, oh, there's a dragon nearby, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, alright. Because this, I guess, something that Buhd and Lyri can do. If you somehow tell him that there is a blue dragon that defeated him previously, you can compel his arrogant and self-absorbed. You can maybe compel him to leave this fight and go fight a dragon.
Sure, but Lyri wouldn't.
Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
More of a Buhd thing.
We'd have to
I
rely on Buhd.
Yeah, and I think you're overestimating Buhd in his thought process there.
To be fair,
he
it's
can
players
accidentally, like,
players
say-
that are compelling, not characters. So Skoll, you would
I
be
guess
able
I
to.
could compel it.
But sure.
Wouldn't Buhd still have to be like, you got beat by blue dragon, you so stupid? I would compel him after that, I guess.
Yes and
That's
no.
the only.
You are able to compel, as in you, Skoll, say, hey, you remember the blue dragon, run away and fight the blue dragon. But it has to be information that the other NPC would know. And at the moment, that infinite dragon does not know that there's a blue dragon around. So you would have to inform him first.
Yeah, and it doesn't really seem like Bud's personality to be like, oh yeah, go fight Kyrie, my friend, instead. I don't know if Bud's just, it doesn't seem like something Buhd would say or do is the problem.
Yeah, just an idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could see our new friend, Lyri doing that, but not Buhd.
Yeah. At this point again, since the round just ended, I would propose that we have a scene with Benjamin and Bladebeard. What do you guys say?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but
Wouldn't this happen in the future compared to the scene Bladebeard and I are having?
By a little bit, yes, but not by very much.
Because now we really have the pressure to leave on us.
At this point, Benjamin and Bladebeard, I'm not going to like rearrange the NPCs because that's quite a lot of NPCs to rearrange, but basically, yeah, a guard just ran in and said, there's a break-in at the prison, and Johnny just begged you guys, please just surrender, we have our lives. I don't remember what you guys did after that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think we did anything. So, do you have anything to say, Benjamin?
Are you asking that in character or?
No, out of the character.
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea what to do to escape the situation.
Alright, Lord Roswell, you said that if we give you the antidote, we are still prisoners, right?
I will mention that Lord Roswell has already given the order for his guards to apprehend you.
Question: How surrounded are we?
There is the behind you. The guards are like a meter away from you, so like 3 feet away from you. They're very close. But in front of you, you do have a little bit of space before. Yeah, so you mainly have room to maneuver in front of you rather than behind you. But I will mention there is a knife to Johnny's throat.
Yeah.
Johnny begged you to allow yourselves to be apprehended, and I will say that Lord Roswell said seize them, not kill them.
Yeah. Sure. I guess we'll go with
I'll
the
let
flow.
them. Yeah.
Okay, you are now restrained by them. Lord Roswell seems concerned, and one of the guards tries to take the water skin from you, Bladebeard.
Alright, I give it to him.
Okay. He takes it and takes it hurriedly to Lord Roswell, who immediately snatches it, uncaps it, smells something incredibly foul coming from it, because I don't believe Bladebeard washes his teeth very often, but shakes his head and drinks regardless. I will say that probably drinking from the same water skin as Bladebeard is more dangerous than the actual poison.
I mean,
True or no?
I don't think I ever said that I drank from it, but alright, yeah.
Well, sure, fair enough. Okay. He drinks, and wipes his mouth from it. And while this is happening, another guard will rush into the room and say, Lord Roswell, the infiltrators disappeared. What do you mean disappeared? Where could they have gone? And all the guards look confused.
I look at Bladebeard quizzically.
Bladebeard ignores what's happening and starts laughing.
What's so damn funny, dwarf?
Well, I know that you're blind on one eye, but have you lost your taste? That was water that I just gave you. Antidote isn't with me, you idiot.
Then I have no more use for you, that is. Kill them.
Well, if you kill me, you'll never get it, and you'll die.
At this point, Bladebeard, Lord Roswell is very, very irritated with you. Roll for me a forceful, I guess, because you're making a very forceful threat. Or forceful or flashy at this point.
Forceful or flashy? I guess I'll go with forceful. Even though it's a lie, but alright.
Well,
Forceful.
It is a lie, but you're being very, very theatrical, flamboyant, and very pressing with it. Actually, yeah, I will allow you to roll sneaky now, right? I think about it. I think sneaky would fit well as well. Up to you.
Thank you. Alright.
And let me find... Yeah.
And he'll roll careful, right?
You are correct. A tie. Tie means you, Bladebeard, succeed, but something negative happens.
What? Do I decide or?
No, I decide.
Alright.
Do you accept this outcome?
Oh man, negative thing can be Johnny dies. Can I hear what's the negative thing and then do something, or
Nope.
do I need to decide now?
You need to decide first.
Alright. Let's see. Would you say that being a pirate captain would help me with this?
How?
Because I don't know. Because
I guess private captains say very outrageous lies. I don't know.
Is that your argument, DoomGoblin?
yeah.
Then sure, Fine. Okay, I accept that.
Alright, I use my fate point to add +2.
Okay, very well. And I will also use one of my fate points to oppose you.
Alright. Let's see. What else can I do? Um, Maybe my last one. I can't read books, but I can read people. Maybe I can read how Lord Roosevelt is feeling and stuff, right? And kind of
I
use
agree.
that against him.
Yeah, I agree. That makes sense. I think it makes more sense than the pirate captain one, to be honest.
Alright, great.
Okay. Deducted. Very well. Lord Razo snarls at you and says, "What's your angle, dwarf? What do you want?"
Well, the people that are sieging your castle are our friends, obviously, and they have the antidote. But your guard just said that they disappeared, or what did you say?
The guardsman who entered the room looks apprehensive, like I don't have to answer to you, but Lord Razo glares at him and he sort of scaredly says, they just vanished out of thin air, my lord. Well, when we entered the cell they were no longer there, and well, there was one of them who sort of held us off, but then she teleported away. And Lord Razo will turn to you, Benjamin, and say, "Is this the dragon you spoke of?"
Well, that would be true. But, Lord Roswell, I'm not sure. But, I would say they wouldn't just leave. And, I guess you do know your castle better than we do.
At that comment, Lord Razo looks a bit pensive, like, maybe you're onto something. And he will say, "Well, the prison cells are clearly no longer a viable option to send you people intruders. So I suppose we're back at square one then? What happens now?"
Well, I guess you now know that we have a dragon on our side. I don't suppose you have a dragon on yours.
I wonder about that. And he gives you all a very playful smile.
I mean, you don't have a dragon on your side. That would be crazy.
Let's just say that I've had many guests over the years, and especially over the past few weeks.
You're bluffing.
Am I? Roll, Bladebeard, roll a careful difficulty 2 or 4 to realize if he's bluffing or not.
4.
Okay, yeah, he's not bluffing. He's telling the truth.
What? You have a dragon? Benjamin, he has a dragon on his side.
I'm kind of just surprised and almost don't hear Bladebeard speaking.
Yeah.
Well, listen. I mean, you know dragons. He's probably going to betray you and join us.
That is my concern and not yours.
Well, it should be yours.
He rolls his eyes at you. And Lord Roswell will then say, "So, back to my original proposal. I'm still very much interested in this Stranglethorn artifact. Are you interested in procuring it for me or not?"
Yeah, if you let us go away alive and free our friends.
Well, several of my people will be joining you as well.
Well, I hope they are better company than the ones we met not long ago.
And at this point, Lord Roswell will make a hand gesture at the Iron Vrykul and say, Go fetch Chronic. He should be a good companion for these people. Bladebeard, specifically you would recognize the name Chronic as that infinite dragon from the hideaway place.
Alright. Chronic.
But when Lord Roswell says that, the Iron Vrykul does not budge. And Lord Roswell looks at it. "Cat got your tongue? What's the matter with you?" And it still does not budge.
I guess your things aren't working too well.
Lord Roswell has a look of slight concern on his face. Bladebeard, at this point, the Iron Vrykul sort of mechanically turns and stares directly at you.
Hello?
And he begins walking towards you.
Tell your robot to stop walking towards me.
Lord Roswell looks panicked at this point, and he yells out, "What's all this? What are you doing already?" And yeah, the Iron Vrykul continues to approach you. Do you do anything? The guards behind you sort of back away from this situation. You are no longer restrained.
I instinctively go for my sword, but I don't have it anymore.
Alright, I'll just stay there and I'll try to guess what this robot is planning to do with me. Can we say that that's maybe discovering his aspect or something?
Yeah, I would say you could say that. Roll for me a careful, please. Difficulty 4.
Oh, I think I rolled, but nothing happened. Oh, here we go. You said 4, right?
Correct. So that is insufficient. At this point, Bladebeard, as this titanic creature approaches you, you will hear a voice in your mind, and only in your mind. Not Benjamin, you will not be able to hear this.
It was your fault.
Do you react in any way?
Wait. Can you repeat? Can you repeat that sound?
Okay.
It was your fault.
Oh, it was your fault.
It's very generalistic, but I guess a ton of things are Bladebeard's fault.
I guess.
So wait. All right. I hear that in my head.
Yes, and the Iron Vrykul is continuing to approach you.
I look confused.
Understandable. And surprisingly, the Iron Raikou, as it approaches you, will say. By the way, there is a general panic in this room as everyone's looking. What the hell is this thing doing? And the Iron Raikou turns to you and with a metallic, almost grating voice, will say, calibrating, "What is your bidding, master?"
You see a big grin forms on Bladebeard's face. My bidding?
Bladebeard.
Oh, well,
And before you can reply, you hear another whisper in your mind, Bladebeard.
alright.
Before they killed you.
I guess my self-conscious is back. Alright.
Did that come across, by the way?
Yeah. Killed them all, basically.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Alright, I'll first try to command him without saying anything. And tell him in my mind, the robot, kill the old guy.
Okay. The Iron Raikou then turns around and lifts and unsheaths its sword to attack Lord Roswell. And I think it's as good a place as any to stop today's session.
Oh no, we're all gonna die. This is horrible.
I don't know. I think you guys are on a better are doing a lot better than we are.
I think our advantage is that this may cause enough confusion for us to leave.
I think that there'll be consequences for what Bladebeard does here, because he's gonna be he's kind of the new Archmage now, and Buhd might die.
No, he won't die.
Goodbye to Buhd. I have a bad feeling. This does not look well. Like look at all of these things Buhd has to fight, and Buhd just charged right in. He doesn't have. The thing is, he usually has his like Bladebeard or Benjamin be like, "Oh, hey, Buhd, don't do that. That's not smart."
Mm-hmm. Do you not just up hills?
Sorry?
Then never mind.
By the way, Zelris, I forgot to tell you this, but I prepared some background sounds to be heard. You were away when they happened, so I'm glad I forgot to tell you, but I'm glad we didn't startle you like that.
Okay.
I was startled when I knew about them.
Sorry.
I think it fits the mood, so it's okay.
I guess next time I'll be DMing 2 boss fights simultaneously.
Nice.
Can I skip that session?
That's how you do a finale to a campaign, I guess, in a way.
An arc, I will say.
Arc, not really the campaign itself. We still need to get the orb, but yeah.
Well, I have no idea what's going on, but maybe if Bladebeard gets to Buhd in time, he can control the whole army of Raikou.
Almost
Iron-
killed one though. There's no point. Just kill them all.
Yeah. Maybe I can control the big one. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's a bit kind of cool. At first, I thought that it could be like Zulgalga, since Iron Raikou are very lightningy, and she's lightningy too. I don't know. But yes, it's something more spooky.
I also have the hourglass and the crystal ball or whatever that is.
I mean, you have no idea what they do, so what are you gonna do? Toss it at them?
I will mention that the Iron Raikou specifically swore loyalty or whatever to Bladebeard, not to Benjamin.
Yeah. At first I was like, Yeah, maybe because I'm a dwarf, I'm a Titan forged thing, but humans are as
Technically,
well,
so
Yeah, humans are too, yeah.
yeah, so
I guess I'm a bit diluted with the whole elf thing, so I guess you are pure.
Sure.
yeah.
Zelris, what did you think of this session? You jumped right in. Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, maybe it will be perhaps a slower session today. Maybe they won't quite reach Lord Roswell, but
Yeah.
no, 2 final bosses at the same time.
Oh well. What happens, happens.
Pretty much.
If Buhd dies, then, it's not my problem.
I did try as a DM to have you guys not get separated by. First, I compelled you, Zelris, to not tell Buhd about the thing in the wall, and then I had Kyrie ask Buhd, but shouldn't we look for Benjamin and Bladebeard?
I mean, it was either that or get cornered by guards, and it seemed like the easier option at the time.
Sure. By the way, the 2 boss fights are now quote unquote aligned, aka they're taking place at the same time. No longer a time difference.
Okay.
So what did you guys think of today's session?
Very
A
scary.
bit
That's all.
hectic.
Very spooky.
I loved it.
Yeah, you definitely push things in a direction I didn't exactly expect, but there you go. Maybe we won't get a chance to know this new Blood Elf person because she will be killed by an infinite dragon at this point. Who knows?
Oof.
Hopefully
Rip.
not. Hopefully
But
not.
Buhd got to know her and calls her a liar a lot. That's basically it.
I guess we could always pull off the 3 twin storyline, so
Boy. I genuinely have to think about how I will do next session because, as I said, it's 2 final boss fights at the exact same time.
I mean, it's also kind of evil of you of having two boss fights lined up. Because we would have finished healing our level 6 consequences, and you were just about to give us some new ones with the whole gnome thing.
True, but the boss fights were designed to be, not easily, but yeah, beatable by 4 players working together.
But instead we have 2 players and a bunch of NPCs.
Yeah. Well, the NPCs are not
It's still
useless.
doable.
The NPCs are not useless, and it's definitely doable, but it will be more difficult than originally anticipated. I would say that.
That's fine.
Oh boy. Yeah. Zelris, what did you think in general of this? It was a very unusual session, I would
It was
say.
fun. It was a lot of fun to do.
I'm glad you think so. We also forgot to do the recap at the beginning, but yeah, nothing too big happened. The Bladebeard killed someone by biting their throat off. They paralyzed Lord Roswell's son. What else? Oh yeah, the staff might have belonged to a troll named Milnov the Serpent, and that's about it. There's the recap. Yeah, I do need to do a lot of logistic preparation for next session, not just normal preparation.
And we need a lot of emotional preparation.
Yeah, that too.
Who knows? Yeah.
The Buhd death images going out.
Oh, well, there is an advantage to this that Buhd will regain his stunt back next session.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess he was
Cannons.
carrying a cannonball in his pants or something.
Sure.
Do advantages carry over from sessions?
Because it's the same scene, aka the same boss fight, yeah, I will say so.
Cool.
Not necessarily cool because the enemy also got a lot of advantages.
I know, but I have a Tensei, so it's cool for me.
Fair, fair.
Not so cool for everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts before we go into our shoutouts?
I don't think so.
No, this was confusing and amazing at the same time. Yeah,
Certain conditions have been met. I will say that much. When I first talked to you guys about the audio files I have prepared, I did say once certain conditions will be met, that's when I will play them, and those conditions have been met. Yeah. Okay. I think it's as good a place as any to go into our shoutouts. Thank you to everyone here for watching and listening to us. We will be back next week, I think, on Skoll's channel. Yeah, on my channel rather. Confusing. Yeah. Would you, Zelris? Would you like to take the honors to talk about yourself, promote yourself, etc.,
Sure.
etc.?
Mhm.
Okay.
I just make stuff usually on Twitter right now, but I do have a YouTube as well. I make primarily machinima stuff, and that's about it. If you like it, then cool. If you don't, then cool.
Yeah, yeah. You can see Zelris' links on screen and in the description below. Thank you. Next would be in the typical player order would be Mr. DoomGoblin, who is now the master of an Iron Vrykul somehow.
yeah, that was amazing, and can't wait to play around with it more in the next session. But yeah, I am Mr. DoomGoblin, and you can find me on Twitter and other links. I draw stuff and post art, and yeah, see you next time.
Yeah, and his art is quite good. Thank you. Next would be the owner of the channel you guys are watching this video on, Sir Thompshire.
You already know me. I make machinima, but also make sure to check out my Twitter where I post renders and sneak peeks and so on. So yeah, once again, I'm very excited and scared for next session. And yeah, see you then.
Thank you. Next would be the Kool-Aid man himself who burst into the cell door. Skoll?
Hello, hello, hello. I am Skoll Shorties, and I played as Buhd. And I make YouTube videos on the YouTubes about speculation with World of Warcraft. I also make machinimas and all sorts of other topics on WoW. And you can also find me on Twitter for some sneak previews and memes and tomfoolery and whatnot. And you can also find me on Twitch sometimes to stream the video games.
Indeed, and you can find all of his links and all of our links as well on screen and in the description below. Thank you. And I was your DM Game Master Teeironor. I usually, when I have the time, do Warcraft lore videos focusing on niche topics. And well, I haven't had time to make videos lately, but maybe soon. That's what I always say anyway. But yeah. Thank you to everyone for watching and listening to us. We'll be back next week again on my channel. Yeah, on my channel. Check out all of our stuff in the description and hope to see you there. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See you.
Bye.